that lioness you follow when you finally jump in. Who wouldn't ever wanna feel like that? It's that hometown feeling, baptized screaming, right in those streets that you've always known. Friday night winning, where you've been, radio's playing your brand new song. Oh, man, it's good to be back. Who wouldn't wanna feel like that? It's this hometown hallelujah. It's those back roads running through ya. It's where you come from. It's that hometown feeling, baptized screaming, right in those streets that you've always known. Friday night winning, where you've been, and radio's playing your brand new song. Oh, man, it's good to be back. Who wouldn't wanna feel like? Oh, man, it's good to be back. Who wouldn't wanna feel like that? Who wouldn't wanna feel like that? Feel like that. Who wouldn't wanna feel like that? Feel like that. Thank you, guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Terrific. Terrific stuff. Now, Zach's doing a great job making sure we all sound good tonight, but what I'm not clear on, boys, is if when you're playing, he's got my mic off, because all I want to do is sing along, but I don't want to ruin everyone's good time.
You go right ahead, Ferg.
Hey, guys, congratulations again. 3 CCMAs. I was reading earlier, nobody's done that in a decade, winning the Group or Duo of the Year category. 3 straight years. We talked about that. So in the aftermath of the CCMAs and your success over the course of the weekend, you know, where did the idea of kind of giving back to the fans right away come from?
Well, there's one thing that got us here, and it was the people that came to our shows and people that cared about this band when no one had ever heard of us. And then the family just started growing and growing. And I love hearing stories from people who turned their friends onto us for the first time, or the girlfriend who drags her boyfriend to a country show and he doesn't like country music and ends up coming up and saying to us, I don't like country music, but for some reason I like you guys. It's the fact that those people are the reason we create music. They care. They've been along the entire journey for us. So many of them have become friends of ours, and their stories have become our stories and become songs along the way, that they're the only people I really want to think about when you win something like this, because this is a win for all of us, for our teams who have worked so hard to get us here, but for our fans who've stood up for us every turn along the way. So that's why.
You made a good point there, I think, Chris, and maybe Aaron, I'll turn to you for the follow-up, where somebody comes up to you guys at a concert and says, I don't really like country music, but I like you guys. What do you think that is? What do you think it is about the Washboard Union that'll take that fan and pull them in no matter what genre of music they seem to love?
Yeah, I think it's the beards, Paul. The beards are a big draw, and I've been trying for years.
Aaron's been growing
Hey,
his the
me
longest.
too. Look at me.
You feel me? You feel me? No, you know what? I think it's a good question. I think that it's our live show, Paul. I think that we when we go and play live, we are as interested in being on that stage, playing and entertaining, as the people who are there wanting to watch some great music. And I think there's a real symbiotic relationship that exists there. By thank you very much. That the energy that we get from the crowd builds what we put out, and it just keeps on building. And I'll tell you one more thing, Paul. During COVID, playing in front of people has been such a rare thing for us that the chances that we've had to, like tonight, to play to just a few people in the yard here, music has this ability to sort of, when it's in the air and other people are experiencing that magic at the same time, there's an elevation there. And I think, without getting too, super cosmic, but I think we need that as people, to have that music in the air building, and that energy. There's certainly something there, and I felt that after not playing live in front of people for months, and then just having some small intimate concerts. So to answer the question, I think by coming to a Washboard Unity show, that makes all the difference. We're having a good time on there, and it shows, and we get that energy back. So it works both ways.
Okay, David, now it's just you and I. And we got the cosmic answer. Now I'm going to ask you, is it the beards?
Might have a little something to do with it. We're not sure. We're not sure.
Hey, Chris, let me turn back to you. This is Fan Appreciation Night, so why don't we appreciate the fans? I said out of the hop that we're going to give people the chance to win some free stuff. Is now the time?
Let's do it, man. Sounds great.
Okay, what are we going to do? What do you think?
Well, I was thinking maybe a trivia question or two. Maybe you finish the lyric. I don't know. What are you thinking, Paul?
I think that's great. I'll tell you what people can do throughout our stream, okay? People can describe in 3 words, to mark, of course, the occasion, 3 CCMA Group or Duo of the Year awards, okay? So in 3 words, we want people in the comments section on our stream tonight to tell us what they think of the CCMA after party and Fan Appreciation Night of the Washboard Union. So people can comment away, but if you want to finish the lyrics, I'm all in.
All right.
That's good. That's great, Paul. Let's go with that. Let's definitely go with that.
We doing Dog Rock? Nice.
Yeah, it's Doc Rocket.
All right. So here's the trivia question then, Paul. Somewhere hidden in this
All right.
song is the location of the cabin that we all go hang out at on the lake, the famous Doc Rock cabin. So you tell us where it is, and the lyric is hidden somewhere in this song. All right?
Listen for the location. Here it is, Doc Rock in the Washboard
The
Union.
mystery.
Yeah?
1, 2. Wait. A flat.
Yeah.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
I know this funky little place. It's on the lake off Whiskey Mountain Road, where there's a tiny little tin roof shack and the grass is overgrown. It's got a boat that's full of holes. Drive her fast enough and she'll still float. But there's a grill that's always hot and the beer is ice cold. There's room for everybody on these old pine boards. We make that Doc Rock. Come see what you're missing. Got that lakeside sunshine, fishing disposition. Pump the wattage through the cottage and we're ready to roll. Ain't no sign to get there, you just follow the snow to where the Doc rocks. Yeah, we make that Doc rock. It don't have to be the weekend, it's going off every day. Ain't open 24/7 on the water, man, it's 25/8. Well, it can get a little crowded and the boards start to creak. I'll show you how 100 people fit on 24 feet. Gonna make that Doc Rock. Come see what you're missing. Got that lakeside sunshine, fishing disposition. Pump the wattage through the cottage and we're ready to roll. Ain't no sign to get there, you just follow the snow to where the Doc rocks. Yeah, we make that Doc rock. Go get 'em, Scotty. Ain't nothing like all my friends with me, with a little sunshine and whiskey. Come on, turn this one up, let's shake these old pine bones and make that Doc rock. Come see what you're missing, got that lakeside sunshine, fishing disposition. Pump the wattage through the cottage and we're ready to roll. Ain't no sign to get
good.
Great stuff, Doc Rock. You know, it's such a fun song. And, you know, whether summer's officially come or gone or not, we still got Thanksgiving at the cottages, you know, so it's not too late for a little Doc Rock. Congratulations again to the Washboard Union. 3-time now in a row CCMA Group or Duo of the Year. What a feeling. And then 5, count them 5 CCMA awards in the categories of Roots Artist and Roots Album of the Year. We'll talk more about Everbound shortly. So, do we know, did anybody get the trivia question done?
I'll be honest, I can't see Facebook from here, Paul.
All right, okay. I'm getting so old, just old enough that I actually had to find a pen and write down Whiskey Mountain Road. Am I right?
There it is, man. There it is.
That's how I know I'm getting old. I got to give myself a fresh haircut for things like this, and I got to write down my thoughts. Hey, boys, thanks for throwing Fan Appreciation Night. You know, I think it's so great that only 24 hours after you guys enjoy such success at the CCMAs, here you are doing what you can to entertain the fans. It's so great.
Man, there's nowhere we'd rather be right now. This is incredible, being in the Vancouver sunshine and playing for our fans and our friends and family here. It's an incredible feeling.
David, we're in a bit of a unique year, to say the least. I think 2020, you know, it's unpredictable. It's thrown a lot at us. So explain to people who may not necessarily be on the inside looking out like we are, how this year's CCMA after party that we're in the middle of now maybe differs from other years, why we're doing what we're doing.
Well, it'll be different because I won't be hungover tomorrow.
You and me both, my man.
But the night is young. That's right, Chris. It is completely different. We've had a crazy summer and spring, and you know, we were saying the other day how during COVID we hadn't seen each other in months and months, and you're talking to 3 guys that share a lot of time together in very small spaces. So that was very unique for us. But we were also saying what an amazing time we live in, where we can actually still connect and communicate with people all around the world. So we're very fortunate in that respect. And this year was very much different in that regard. We got to connect with people around the world. We can't be in the same room as them, and we miss that terribly because we are a live act, and we love doing that. But we make the best of it, and we know that it's going to end one day, and things will get back to normal. And we'll be there playing live again and going to the CCMAs where a lot of our family, we call them family, and we call them family for a reason because we have a lot of friends there, and we miss them terribly. We love hugging people. We're going to get back to that soon.
Good. You know, I'm so glad to hear it. It's heartwarming to hear, you know, when we can all get together again. It's going to be such a great time. Aaron, let me turn to you for a second if I can, because David was talking about going to the CCMAs and the family that you've built there. And getting ready for the show tonight, I was thinking it was only 5 years ago that you guys arrived at the CCMAs, you know, just to kind of get yourselves in, get yourselves, you know, acquainted with people and learn what it's all about. That was only 5 years ago. And if I'm counting right, you got 9 CCMAs to your credit now. So if you go back to 2015 in Halifax when you guys first jumped in the pool, where did you think you'd be in 5 years? And is it right here, right now?
Well, considering in 2015 when we went to the CCMAs in Halifax, we were uninvited. Things have come a long way when you look at it like that. We were technically uninvited. Or not invited, rather. So we're kind of on the outside of all the stuff there, but we did make some long-lasting relationships as a result of that trip. It was a long way to go to know the door would be shut on you the moment you got there, but we did it anyways. And I think it was the greatest thing that we did because we really sort of entered that family and got to know a lot more people. And I know there's something about just sort of, you know, walking in the footsteps of the people who've sort of paved the path before you, and we're not lost on that. So we're honored now to have 9 awards in what is it, 4 years, 5 years, 4 years, uninvited 15, 4 years.
Yeah. The 2015 we didn't want you there. The last 4 we're happy to have you.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey Chris, I said to Aaron earlier today in an interview on the radio that I've never seen a 43-minute run sheet that I can't make a 65-minute show, okay? So what I'm going to do is take this and make it a shade longer by asking you each a question that none of you are necessarily expecting. So, Chris, Dunner, I'm going to start with you. Tell me something that Aaron brings to the Washboard Union that only he brings to the band.
Wow.
Live TV.
No pressure.
You know what I learned early on in the songwriting side of things is that when you can sit back and understand the strengths of what you bring to any given session, and that can change all the time, but when you've written with somebody for a long time, you really start to understand to give them the lane that they need to do what they do well. And Aaron has a sense of melody that as a lyricist I can play off so seamlessly, and I look for it, and I'm always surprised by what he brings, because it's something I wouldn't have thought of. And I think that in a songwriting partnership, that is the greatest thing you can have, when the other person, probably in any relationship, when the person you spend that much time with can continually surprise you, you're in a great space. And to let them succeed and shine and have that room is amazing. So Aaron's sense of melody is something that he, and only he, brings to the band in the way that he does.
Aaron, other than the obvious incredible good looks, what else does David Roberts bring to the band that only David brings?
Be careful.
That's all the time we have, Paul.
All right, well, it's time to go home and watch Jeopardy. See ya.
Well, okay, I'll tell you this. You know the expression, you go left, I'll go right? Is that an expression?
Right.
It is now.
I think it is now.
There it is. You just made it.
Run with it.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm the expression coiner in the group. No, I think with David is if say we're going down a path, David has this uncanny ability to swing and swerve left or right, whatever the case is, off whatever the path or whatever direction is going on. Now that can seem maybe like a bad thing, but it is, in my opinion, the most refreshing thing about David, because he can come at a situation with a completely different angle and a completely different way of looking at it that I literally had not thought about. It is as though it never existed, and David has an uncanny way of bringing out the unknown in a situation or in a conversation or in an idea, and I really appreciate that about him. This guy.
David, you're up. Take a look at Chris Duncombe. You tell everybody streaming online, coast to coast, in that backyard there as well. What does Dunner bring to this band that's unique to Dunner?
I think Aaron said it all. I think we're good, Paul. I think we're good.
Great answer.
Paul, I'm one of the most fortunate guys in the world. I get to play music with two of my very best friends, and it's not lost on me how precious that is. We always kind of joke around that if this all ended tomorrow, what would you do? And the answer is, I'd call you up and see what you're doing. So it's a pretty cool experience to be able to play with both these gentlemen. Chris has such a great ability to see through the clouds. You have good days and bad days when you're at home or on the road. And Chris has this ability to kind of see through the trouble and see what's on the other side of that, and get your head out of where you are and help you kind of see the other side of those clouds. And I'll tell you, I rely on that day in and day out, because to me, it's just like it's a rock, and I wouldn't want to do it without you.
Thank you, buddy.
You know what? You guys are going to make me cry from 4 provinces away. My gosh, the Washboard Union are here. It's Fan Appreciation Night, CCMA After Party Night. Share the link, get as many as we can. We're celebrating coast to coast online, and with some socially distant folks right there in that backyard. Everbound, the album's out now anywhere you buy music. We're going to talk about it shortly. Guys, what song's up next?
What do you want to do?
Should we fall? So I'm feeling all gushy with you two now. So do you want to go head over heels, since I'm just so head over heels over here?
Want to get down on the knee?
How's that one go again?
Just hum it.
Is that kind of what we had?
What do you think?
We're gonna do She Only Knew. It's okay.
Oh.
But now that I've switched, now we can head over heels.
Okay, you got it.
On the fly.
I guess it's
My
Scott's
bad.
level of professionalism that I appreciate most about it.
One, two. Hopelessly falling, tangled and tied over the edge, out of my mind, hopelessly helpless, head over heels over you. There you go, back in my heart again. Every time you give me that look, game over, I give in. Well, I love the way you get to me. You're like all I ever wanted, wrapped up in what I need. Hopelessly falling, tangled and tied over the edge, out of my mind, spinning in circles, don't know what you do. I'm hopelessly helpless, head over heels over you. There go burning that fire, baby, in my soul. Your lighter held up high for me at a sold-out show. You're that perfect song, so I sing along. I turn it up loud and play it again and again. Hopelessly falling, tangled and tied over the edge, out of my mind, spinning in circles, don't know what you do. I'm hopelessly helpless, head over heels over you. I'm head over heels over you. Stuck on you, girl, that's no lie. Couldn't quit you if I Hopelessly falling, tangled and tied over the edge and out of my mind. Hopelessly falling, tangled and tied over the edge, out of my mind, spinning in circles, don't know what you do. I'm hopelessly helpless, head over heels over you. I'm hopelessly helpless, head over heels over you.
The Washboard Union.
I'm hopelessly helpless, head over heels over you. I'm head over heels over you. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Just throw that up there.
That's out of tune.
Now, I think what happened there at the end, isn't that the baseball equivalent of a balk, you know, where you hang us up long enough until everyone starts to clap and then you finish this song.
That's it.
Washburn Union, it's Fan Appreciation Nights, coast to coast on the stream. Welcome everybody tuning in as we celebrate the success of the CCMAs over the weekend for the Washboard Union, CCMA Group or Duo of the Year, third year in a row. Everbound, the album that came out earlier in 2020, has won in the category of Roots Album of the Year, guys. And let's talk about Everbound if we can. And let's start with this. And you guys and I had this conversation going back around the release of Everbound. Some people kind of pulled back on the idea of releasing new music in a pandemic. You guys went ahead, and I'm glad you did. Talk about the decision.
Well, the funny
Chris.
thing is we've never been faced with the the challenge of to release an album or not release the album during a pandemic before. So that was a new decision to make. But we did feel, we had the conversation, Paul, and it was, we kind of felt at that moment we had everything in the can. We had everything ready to go. Our plan was in place, so there was no added things we had to do to push faster forward. And we figured at that moment during the pandemic that people needed to hear new music. It was a perfect opportunity to, download a new album, listen to a new album on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen to music. So we kind of thought the opposite. People held back releasing albums. We said, let's go for it and release it. And it really worked out well for us. People commented a lot about the fact they had new music to listen to while they're all stuck at home, being locked down or quarantined or whatever was going on. So it turned out to be a good call that we made.
Well, I think so too, because we spent the entire year and we continue to hear about what we can't do and what we don't have access to. And the idea of hearing new music's coming on whatever date, Washboard Union, new album, it was such a breath of fresh air. So I'm glad you went the way you did on that. Chris, let me ask you this. When you decide it's time for a new album, do you pick a focus of the album or do you just grab a batch of great songs? How does the process work when it comes to creating the new record?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think for us it's quite the opposite. There were 33 songs written for Everbound. And we had no idea what would actually end up on it. And we've always been sort of the mind that your next best song might be written 8 hours before you go in the studio. So we literally wrote right up until we went in the studio. In fact, More Memories Than Wishes, the last track on the record, was written less than 24 hours before the album was actually recorded. And what you actually hear on the album is the demo recording of that song. So I don't think we went into it with an idea that we're going to do a concept or anything. The unique thing with Everbound was that when we finally decided which songs belonged together, what united those songs was this undercurrent of like hope and limitlessness and the fact that maybe anything was possible. And we felt when Everbound was getting released, with power saws in the background.
I thought David was snoring.
Yeah. That happens more often than you can imagine, Paul. No, but what we found out was we thought that people really could use a dose of that. We could all use a dose of that. We certainly could during a time like this. So that undercurrent of hope that runs through this record is what we keep hearing back from fans that they're excited about. And the fact that there are so many faces to this record, just like we couldn't figure out a title for this record, so we made a word up. There are so many different aspects to this record, and people have found favorites in very disparate parts of the body of music that's on this album. So that really inspires us.
Well, you said that's a good question. I only have one good question today, so I guess I'm done here till tomorrow. I have no hope. Guys, we want to remind people too, if you're having fun, you're watching the stream, make sure in the comments you describe the stream and the party and the viewing experience in 3 words. You tell us how awesome it is. Chance to win yourself a pretty cool Washboard Union prize pack. Guys, you'd mentioned too, before we talked about Everbound when you played Head Over Heels there, If She Only Knew, which is one of the songs maybe a lot of people haven't heard yet on Everbound if they haven't heard the whole album. You gonna play it right now? Can you do that?
Yeah, absolutely we can.
One, two, three, four.
She's out there singing while the whole world sags, and she don't care about designer handbags. She's unconventional, all original. I try to work it all out of my head, 'cause I wanna be a lot more than just friends. Would it mess it all up if I said how what is going on in my head? She's the best thing this side of heaven. Think about her all 24/7. Here I am sipping beer, sitting here playing it cool. If she only knew. Right now that my heart is bumping, tell the bartender better keep the tab running. We had another couple, all the trouble we could get into. If she only knew. We go together like fuel and fire, and we harmonize like a midnight choir. And when she's sitting there looking at me, there's only one thing that I see. It's the best thing this side of heaven. Thinking about her on 24/7. Here I am sipping beer, sitting here playing it cool. If she only knew. Right now that my heart is bumping, tell the bartender better keep the tab running. We had another couple, all the trouble we could get into. If she only knew. Funny thing about it is she don't even know. She's the best thing this side of heaven. Think about her all 24/7. Here I am sipping beer, sitting here playing it cool. If she only knew. Right now that my heart is bumping, tell the bartender better keep the tab running. We had another couple, all the trouble we could get into. If she only knew. Yeah, if she only knew.
All right. If She Only Knew from the Washboard Union, that's on this record, Everbound, that's available now. We're just talking about everybody go out and buy 2 copies, give the other one away, give these guys. I feel like a weatherman standing in front of this, you know. You got a ridge of high pressure that's going to move through Chris's beard, over Aaron's head, down through David's beard, and then into the Atlantic provinces. It was all going so well right till now, eh, boys? The Washboard Union Fan Appreciation Night is on. Thank you all for joining us on the stream, coast to coast, because again, you guys are loved across the country. Quick question about the touring thing, guys. And as you said, David, earlier in the show, that when you can get out there, you're going to be out there, and you're going to be dying to get out there by the time you can. What is the one thing, David, I'll stick with you. What is it you miss the most about being on the road?
A really special moment for us is actually after we play. We love to do meet and greets with our fans, and it's the kind of the time where it's after the show, and everyone's pretty relaxed, and we get to talk to people, and people love coming to concerts, and we love chatting with them after them, and they tell us how our music has affected their lives, and they tell us great stories, and a lot of these people we stay in contact with, and that's one of the things I think I miss personally. I'm sure you gentlemen miss it as much. So those meet and greets are pretty special. We miss those terribly.
I trust that's true, fellas.
Oh man, yeah, that is one of the greatest parts. That moment after the show when you get to do that. For me, it's the moment when we walk on. I wish everybody could be with us 30 seconds before we walk on stage, because we can't hear each other because there's big loud intros running and things like that. But we take a moment and the entire band hugs, and then we walk out on stage, and I feel like, because I'm the last one out, I feel like I get to see Aaron and David that I met. Aaron when I was 13 and David when I was probably 20. And I still see them as that age when we walk out. And it's just, David describes the band as us, the three of us building a tree fort that we're never going to finish. And I have that moment when we walk out every time where sort of overwhelming nervousness turns into like unbridled joy. And you walk out and then it feels like it's over in a minute. It's just the craziest feeling. You can play for 90 minutes. You may not even remember it. And if you stop and try and think your way through it, I will forget the words. But it's the most incredible feeling, because it's just this symbiotic conversation without words that happens between you and everybody in front of you. And now that I'm talking about it, I really wish we could just jump in the van and get back on the road. So I can't wait for that day.
Right on. Aaron, speaking of meet and greets, you know, we have invited people anywhere, any fan of the Washboard Union to be a part of the show tonight, for people to share the stream so that others can jump on board. Do we have room on this screen for one more? Can we get a thumbs up, thumbs down? What do you think?
I think that would be a great idea. Is that that was a great idea. And apparently they're having technical difficulty for the person that called in. So unfortunately we can't do that.
Okay.
But
So we
there's,
gave them your address, Paul, and you're at your front door now. So just let them in.
Ding dong. Just don't let the cats out the side door, and the shorter, the fatter one needs insulin twice a day.
you know the beauty about doing an event like this that has really never been done with this many moving pieces on the fly last minute is that there's bound to be things that happen that go wrong, and you just got to roll with it. There's lots of technology to be able to even do. I mean, we got our host here from Toronto, and we're in beautiful British Columbia with some of our friends and family who have joined us for a concert. We're just sharing this across the country and whoever's watching. So that's a feat in itself. So I want to say thank you for being here. I want to say thank you to the people who are online right now. Paul, thanks for being here. And I want to say thank you to the person who set it up to try to be here streaming, but unfortunately technology did fail us with that moment. But that's okay. So I guess to go back to a question you mentioned just previously, what do I miss about live touring is people singing along to our songs. That is something that, to be honest with you, didn't happen for most of my life.
Sort of depressing.
Still a stretch.
So why don't we have
Still
a
stretch.
sing along now?
May not
Right?
happen now.
And it may not happen again. But I do miss that, and I trust that'll happen
Yeah.
again, right? And so and it did happen the last time we played live as well. So what I'm hoping right now, that I'm hoping that we can recreate a what I'm calling a COVID sold out live concert.
Packed.
25
Lined
sold
up.
out people,
Yeah.
max, right? That's the COVID sold out.
Capacity.
But I'm thinking that we can get people singing here, and I'll bet you we can get people with your motivation, Paul, to get people singing across the country. This might not all be in sync, people, and that's okay. But we can get somewhere. So how about let's try to do that. What do you say? Do you have anything else to say, Paul?
Oh my gosh. I think I've said it all, boys. Congratulations again on your third CCMA Group or Duo of the Year, your fifth in the category of Roots Artist or Roots Album of the Year for Everbound. Guys, it's been a pleasure. I love to call you friends. 5 years ago when you jumped in the CCMA pond and I saw you in the hotel that first night, I had no idea that I'd met three terrific friends, and I'm happy to call you that. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you, Paulie.
Thank you, man. The feeling is mutual. Thanks for being here tonight. So how about we end this evening off with a bit of singing? You guys can help us out. I know that you know the words, all right? This is it. I hear C clapping. I love it. All right, all right, all right. We can do this. You guys ready? You guys know the words to this one? It's one word. It's whoa.
Run me through it again.
Whoa.
Whoa. What was the first word?
Whoa. Okay. Whoa. I guess it's a double word. Yeah. So it's gonna go. Whoa, 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 oh, oh. 1, 2. Streaming across the country. Shall we?
Let's.
1, 2, 3, 4. There it is. Come on. gotta stop playing guitar. You guys keep going, okay? I'm counting on you. There it is. We're gonna do something different. You guys keep doing that. Drinking up my courage, whiskey for my nerves. Got me drunk on your short summer dress, ballroom ballerina. I'm gonna need another shot of glory. Ain't no turning back. Got me high on your tipsy smile and your hips all swinging. We start spinning, spinning, spinning. You guys, thank you so much for being here. This is incredible. That was great. Nice. Doesn't that feel good? I love it. That's great. Thank you to our hosts, Pat and Kate Fleck. Thank you so much, you guys, for opening your house. My lovely wife for the decorations, the chairs, and the bubbling. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Smith on the electric guitar and the dobro. And we got Krishan on the camera. We got Zach behind. Zach Budge and Krishan Randall. Thanks a lot, you guys. Paul Ferguson is the host. Thank you, buddy.
And to everybody who tuned in tonight, we just wish you health and happiness. We can't wait to see you soon. We will see you soon. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your families and your friends. Thank you, guys.